All right, that's very bright, by the way. What do I need? That button? That's not working for whatever reason. Oh, I know why. All right, nice, nice. So this is Inhuman resources. So we're going to give this a go today. We'll see what it's like. We'll see what it's like. It is like a literary. It does say like a horror adventure, but enter my name. Finnegan Joyce sounds good. There are 3 deaths. The first, I don't know yet, Jambo. We'll see. The first is when the body ceases to function. The second is when the body is consigned to the grave. Is there game sound? Is there game sound? No. The third is at the moment, sometime in the future, when your name is spoken for the last time. The phone call. Oh, there is some sound, right? The noise comes in waves, the pain follows suit. You try your best to ignore both, but the mere fact that you've acknowledged the awful sound means it's already won. Your phone's alarm is simply much too loud to ignore. Defeated, your eyes peel apart like rotting sheets of rotting Velcro. Does Velcro rot? Blinking back a good night's bleary haze. You lie in bed, awake against your consent. The room is almost pitch black, save for the intermittent flash of your phone's screaming screen. A rancid, if routine stench of unwashed bed sheets bids you a bittersweet good morning. Oh. Why is that scroll weird? It's like scrolling weirdly. It wants to scroll up, but I don't know why. You're home, for better or worse. Mostly the latter these days. Just once, you wish you'd wake up somewhere else instead. Just once, you wish you'd ask permission before racing ahead. But your phone doesn't care about what you mean. It's going off again. The insufferable screeching drills deeper into your skull. You throw back your dirty blankets, blindly reaching for the best misbegotten beast. Misbegotten beast? Pick up the phone. Have to hold it down. The slab of thumb-smudged plastic feels comfortable in your palm. Most call the device ancient, but to you it's a cozy familiar, like an old, if outdated friend. This reminds me of the, I've forgotten the name of the games now. Like the art style a little bit of the, there's a card-based one, or 2 card-based ones. No oversized touchscreens, no fancy graphics for mobile games, no constant access to so-and-so G network, just a simple tool with a cute antenna that still allows you time to disconnect. So I've got like a dumb phone. You've always appreciated the old and analog despite the wider world's obsession with digitized progress. There's sincerity in physicality, a warmth to an object's weight. You cling to this relic as long as you can. Sensible upgrades be damned. So I've got an old cell phone. You fiddle with the phone, desperate to stop the alarm, but no matter which button you press, the shrieking will not end. It's your ringtone. Squinting through the darkness, you barely make out the caller's ID. It's your aunt. Aunt/landlady, technically speaking. Hopefully just your aunt today. The woman is exhausting enough when she isn't asking for rent payments, no matter how overdue they are. Still, should you really ignore a call from the one person still willing to support you between jobs? Yeah, let's... Okay, so I've got to hold this down. Static crackles as your obsolete cell phone struggles to connect. After a sharp click, you mumble a hesitant hello. Does she speak Italian then? Hello there, sweetie. Sorry for calling you out of the blue. I hope I'm not interrupting lunch. The scratchy facsimile of her bombastically condescending voice greets you on the other line's other end. No mistaking your dear auntie, but what's this about lunch? You flick the light and glance towards a microwave's LED. A shameful number stares back from the room's abyss. 1:29 p.m. You wince and make up a half-baked lie, pretending to talk with your mouth full. Your aunt doesn't seem to buy it. Si clama no su. Si, yes. I think she is speaking Italian. Well, I'm sure you're very busy with job applications today, so I'll get straight... It's not what she's saying here. So I'll get straight to the point. Do you have any idea when you were to send your last month's rent? I know money's been tight lately, but it's already the 31st. I mean, one bad payment is bad enough, but 2. Shit, landlady is. You feel yourself deflate, glancing to the tower of rejected job applications. This is depressing already. Proud and precarious upon your messy desk. The top sheet almost grazes your modest apartment's ceiling. Your aunt suggested to print each refusal, claiming they'd make your eventual hiring more rewarding. You found that harder and harder to believe ever since the letters started to outnumber the dollars in your bank account. Así me clamo. Sweetie, do you have some kind of estimate for me? I would really need an answer today. Just going to beg for time. You swallow your pride. It goes down easy. There isn't much left. Much left, I think that's supposed to say. For the 100th time, thousandth, millionth time, you swear to send your aunt the money the second you get a steady paycheck. Until then, there's no way you can conjure cash out of thin air. An uncomfortable silence lingers over your phone's speakers. After 7 torturous seconds, a disappointed sigh comes through. Sweet, I'll let you rent that place to give you a second chance, not to keep enabling this shameful do-nothing behavior of yours. Honestly, I'd be more than willing to forgive delays if I knew you were actually trying, but you can't expect me to believe you've been putting yourself up by the bootstraps and giving this job hunt all you got when you've been living in a pigsty for the last year. I mean, that would just be procrastination. If I was tidying up my apartment, that'd be procrastination on finding the job. Pigsty, you deflect the woman's accusations, glowering in desperate denial, but as your eyes drift over the sorry state of your apartment, your ramblings turn to tragic silence. You've been immune to the stench for a few months now, but no amount of time will ever make you blind to the altars of wretchedness neglect has erected. On the floor, on the desk, in the kitchen, or even in your fridge. On the floor. Crumpled stacks of crusty laundry litter the unmopped ground like landmines in an active war zone. On my desk. Fly-swarmed styrofoam containers amalgamate themselves into an awkwardly unstable modern art installations. Your largest one can only be referred to as the Leaning Tower of Takeout in the kitchen. Filthy cookware overflows from your sink, bathed in rancid dishwater. A layer of film has formed on the surface, thick as the crust of a creme brulee. And even in your fridge, the outdated contraption hums like a thermonuclear lawnmower, even though you know damn well it's not keeping anything cold. Maybe ketchup packets. Cool. Pigsty or not, there's no denying that this whole unemployment business has been taking a serious toll. One that's gone on long enough for your aunt's pity to become well-deserved contempt. She's saying the same thing in Italian. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? It's not your fault those stupid companies won't hire overqualified geniuses. She's right, you're scum, worse than scum. She should just evict you and get over with it. You're sick of pulling yourself up with the bootstraps, can't someone else pull them up for you? First one. None of these seem great. Society's failure to accommodate gifted minds is extensive and well documented. From Bill Gates to Albert Einstein, many talented individuals only achieved renown after escaping the confines of institutional education. You obviously are destined for similar greatness. So what if you dropped out of college after flunking a bunch of courses? So what if you can't hold a steady job? Even if it's the most mindless minimum wage work imaginable, that's not your fault. It's because the system is broken. Your art doesn't sound convinced. Honey, all those people you just mentioned actually achieved something after dropping out. You can't keep choosing to sit idly at life's crossroad waiting for someone to chauffeur you. Otherwise, people won't think you're a genius. They'll think you're just another quitter with an inflated ego who chooses to run away whenever anything remotely challenging comes their way. You need to eat yourself a big slice of humble pie. Right. Oh, okay. Apparently, I'm a college dropout. You brace yourself as the woman prepares. Can I click on this? Oh, I can. A consequence of your inflated ego and ongoing unwillingness to learn from increasingly numerous mistakes. You brace yourself as the woman prepares to deliver her most frequent and most frustrating spiel. You could probably repeat it word for word if you ever held a company. In our world, choices matter. The big ones and the small ones. We can't always take those decisions back, and we can't control their consequences either, which means we have to choose carefully. You most certainly have not been doing that. But if you have any intention of getting yourself out of this mess, you need to start making the right decisions, and soon. You hang your head and nod, gulping down your last trickle of self-respect. Hearing this speech frequently doesn't make it any easier to hear. Anywho, enough of that. The real reason I'm calling is because I might have an opportunity for you. Oh, she's got a job for us. You can tell by her inflection she means a job opportunity. Your reaction is practically Pavlovian. You salivate at the thought of your unrelenting financial woes finally coming to an end. You grip the cell phone tighter and aching with anticipation. See, there's this problem employee at our company. He works at one of the local branches right next to where you live. But the man has a terrible attitude and is even more terrible when it comes to, well, whatever it is you think we do over there. Are these the mafia? Are they the mafia? You picture her limply waving her wrist in some vague dismissive pattern. More of a highly confidential stuff she can't share, but brags about it anyway. Not that you're entirely sure what your aunt actually does for a living to begin with. Something to do with human resources, maybe. Needless to say, we'll be laying off the little sourpuss as soon as a fitting replacement is found. But we need that replacement fast. Company has a big business deal coming up. We can't afford to be short on staff right now. Luckily, I happen to know of someone in dire need of a job, and this position happens to be an entry level. No major qualifications needed. It even comes with a sterling letter of recommendations from yours truly. Now, this won't be an easy job. Supervisors are very strict, and the anxiety is a way of following you home. But as long as you nail the interview, you're basically guaranteed stable income for as long as you need it. How do you say that? Smyrnacorp? Smirnacorp, I think it is. Smirnacorp isn't prone to random layoffs. So, how about it, sweetie? Shall I schedule something for you? Yeah, go on. I could decline, but I have a feeling that's not the option the game will want me to take. Have her set up an interview pronto. High stress environment or not, it beats the homelessness by a country mile. You agree the offer with ravenous insistence. The woman breathes a sigh of relief and lets out a nervous laugh. It almost sounds as if she's like ecstatic disbelief. Chakunikachata. Thank goodness, you have no idea what it means to see you say that. You're literally saving my life. Does she literally mean literally? You should probably be the one telling her that, but you won't complain about receiving gratitude instead of judgment for once. Without missing a beat, your aunt hammers at the computer's keyboard, drafting you an email. You clamber your way out of bed, tripping over day-old takeout, amounts of dirty underwear as you rush towards your laptop. I booked the earliest opportunity I could find. You should get an email with the time, address, and job description soon. Be sure to read everything carefully and do not be late. Mr. Burgard will skin me alive if I send him another unpunctual idiot. Oh, and don't let anyone find out you're a dropout. Mr. Burgard might get funny ideas about how to fix you. Fix you, rather than offer answers. Okay. Goodbye. This is my aunt. The only person on earth who still believes in you. Okay. Okay, she's gone. You get an urge to call her back, but the dinging of an invitation appears in your inbox. Uh-oh. Your interview is today at 4 p.m. sharp. You curse under your breath, rushing to shower and get dressed. Your stack... That's still like 3 hours away. Your stack of rejection letters gets knocked over. SG Minor, how goes it? Let's give you a little fish while this goes. Have I just capsed? I have. You curse under your breath, rushing to the shower and getting dressed. Your stack of rejection letters gets knocked over by your charge and scatters across the room in a whirlwind of standard issue responses. You beg with every fibre of your being not to come home with a new failure to add to the pile. Chat complete. Proceed to waiting room. Oh, you got a blooper. The packed full city transit bus comes to a creaking stop. Where's my drink? Right in front of an old building you've never seen before. Nice space this. Oh, I can. Shoving your way past crowded commuters, you step onto an empty sidewalk. The vehicle rolls away, fading into the misty afternoon and leaving you utterly alone. You briefly wonder if getting off here was a mistake. You review your aunt's documents, poring over the civic number, street name, and postal code. Civic number? What's that? Like a building number? As though every character were the cipher to some secret code. By the time you finish your third revision, you're forced to concede this must be the right reverse, but it's not remotely what you expected. Nestled between two gleaming skyscrapers sits a much smaller, much stranger building. There's the unnerving facade. Glazed grey brickwork and pale-veined marble unite to form a vast web of extravagant monochrome patterns. But despite all the details, the sum total still gives off a sense of cold, calculated purpose. Almost like an anarchic graffiti artist were hired to redesign a palliative care centre. As you climb the front steps, a set of circular, gold-tinted portholes stare down at you. They are unblinking, like the eyes of giant deep-sea squids. The glass is too opaque to see through, yet you suspect someone is on the other side watching you approach. Made from half-ton hunks of glistening cast iron, the double doors have been decorated with an intricate bas level of skyscrapers swimming in fog. Bit ironic for such a stout little edifice. On the bronze knocker, the alloy has been smelted in the shape of a crowned king's severed head. What? The object looks so realistic you're scared to be warm and wet to the touch. Unfortunately, you see no keypads, handles, or ID scanners that will allow you easier entry. Knocker it is. The local branch of Smyrna Corp is only 4 stories tall, yet feels impossibly imposing. It's caught between outdated aesthetics and timeless sensibilities, somehow both outrageous yet invisibly subtle, as if to be forgotten at a passing glance and to haunt those whose gazes linger. You suspect you may be underdressed. Your confidence-instilling piece of clothing is the hoodie you bought on your first day of college, a plush, cozy sweater inscribed with your aborted alma mater's prestigious name and logo. Why am I wearing that? Am I actually wearing that? It's not really. Why am I not wearing a suit? Wasn't he on about wearing a suit earlier? For you, wearing it is an act of defiance, a proclamation that this esteemed institution was unable to contain your full potential within its paltry confines. Others tend to interpret it as far less charitably, especially once they realise you dropped out years ago and haven't held a steady job since. Regardless, what you've got will have to do. The hour of your interview approaches, and you won't have cash to afford a better outfit until this job is yours. Okay, let's bang the door. The bronze object booms against the iron gates even harder than your thumping heart. Moments later, something clicks and a latch comes undone. The doors groan themselves open, inviting you inside. You step into the building and are greeted by what seems to be a 5-star hotel's reception area. The room is utterly massive, with high ceilings that rival a Renaissance church's cavernous belly. Its windows let no sunshine through, and no fluorescent light bulbs fill it with their pale glare. There are just low-hanging chandeliers and an array of green-glassed banker lamps, bathing the room in burnt orange. Upholstered sofas and coffee tables dot the space like islands, forming a winding path that leads to the room's distant depths. There, a woman stands behind a desk, flanked on each side by grillage elevators. The sharp machine gun clatter of a mechanical keyboard echoes across the room. You appreciate the old analog, but Smyrna Corp's apparent fondness is downright ridiculous. I mean, we've got an old phone. I don't know why we're complaining. Hopefully the receptionist won't feel the same way about your subpar outfit. Let's pretend let's be confident. Let's be confident. Pretend to be confident. Stride over like you ain't. With a little luck, it'll read as self-assurance instead of total fucking delusion. The dim lighting becomes dimmer the further you go, and the thicker shadows close in on you like claustrophobic walls. Wall-to-wall carpeting squishes under your feet, and an unfamiliar ammonia aroma assails your flared nostrils. Whatever they used to clean the place smells strong enough to double as a bioweapon, but still isn't enough to erase the lingering stench of cigarette smoke. The off-putting odour does suit the outdated decor, however. Except for all those unsettling sculptures carved into the room's concrete support pillars. Disturbing shapes that assail you from all sides, emerging from shadows like pretentious interpretations of 21st century demons. So the one on my left, headless nude bodies are contorted in pain as veins spout through their skin like a tree spawning roots. On my right. A bleak rendition of what you assume to be Barbel's tower has been built out of steel girders, electric wiring and bones. And up ahead, you see human skulls whose scalps have exploded, revealing interwoven helixes of DNA strands and binary code. What? What happened to good old-fashioned gargoyles? Unsettled by your surroundings, your eyes drift back to the woman on the reception desk. There are letters engraved on the wall above her, spelling out a slogan in silver twinkling font. Memoria perpetuus mutatio. Memory perpetuity change. Or memories perpetually mutate if you give the grammar an overly charitable reading. You're surprised that the freshman year Latin class actually turned out to be useful. But it's even more surprising to see a corporation with a slogan like that. You hoped your aunt's documents would provide insight. Instead, they were mostly full of vapid statements about connecting modern businesses with industry-leading talent or some variation of the standard corporate tripe. You wave hello to the receptionist, but she doesn't even flinch. Her gaze remains glazed over, wholly focused on her work. She's younger than you first thought, maybe 30, likely, not quite. Sickly pale, with sleep-deprived bags under her eyes, each one darker than the acrylic of her tidy black turtleneck. Her hair is knotted into a dainty bun, her fingers devoid of polish or rings. They move across the keyboard like demented tap dancers. Wait, no, not her keyboard, her typewriter. It's a really, really old one, made from brass, black plastic, and way too many moving parts. A relic from the 1800s. If it's made from black plastic, it's not from the 1800s, is it? It would have been ivory or something? It looks like it's barely scraped through both world wars, and you thought your laptop was getting old. When was plastic invented? Like 1898 or something? Invention of plastic. I swear it's like 1890 something. 1907, there you go. That's the first truly synthetic plastic. Celluloid 1868. Parkesine 1862. Well, what would it be like? 1869. Anyway. And you thought your laptop was getting old. There's also a small desk bell glimmering on the counter. Maybe you should... She's a secretary, not a Victorian era maid. Just say hi like a normal person or ring the bell. Yeah, just say hi. You meant to whisper a polite greeting. Nervously, it turns into a shout. The woman's head snaps forward as though hit by electric shock. She flashes you a beaming, not quite pearl white smile. I think that one was French that time. Welcome to Smyrna Corp. Do you have an appointment? The words barely seep through the woman's gritted teeth. Her grin is so tight it hurts to watch, but there's no trace of frustration. She's the dictionary definition of too friendly, made uncomfortably manifest. Unsettled, you stumble your way through an explanation of your aunt's referral. The receptionist replies with a nod, squinting as she reads the writing on her typewriter's latest sheet. Of course, I think that was then Japanese or something. Of course, we've been expecting you. I'm afraid Mr. Burgard is running a little late this afternoon. He'll need a few more minutes until he's ready to speak with you. But you're more than welcome to peruse our visitors' handbooks. She gestures to a nearby set of couches and a table chock full of pamphlets. But you're more surprised to notice someone else already sitting there, a young man with a bitter look etched on his furrowed face. Could this be? Is that the guy who's been sacked? Probably another applicant. Shit, your aunt never mentioned competition. And if they turn out to be competent, you could be in big trouble. Your bleak musings are cut short by the receptionist's unpainted nails tapping on her name tag. I'm Melusine, by the way. Melusine oh, we didn't know her name then. Melusine Saint-Saëns. She's French, I think. I'll call you as soon as Mr. Burgard becomes available. In the meantime, please let me know if you have any questions. With a grateful, albeit embarrassed nod, you walk away and slump into an old-fashioned sofa. Melusine's rickety typewriter clicking away once more. The couch cushions feel quite stiff, or maybe your stressed, clenched back does. Considering the ferocious stare down you're receiving from the stranger seating across from you, it could well be the latter. The steady tick of a vintage clock draws your gaze. Its hands point in opposite directions. 3:42 p.m, 18 minutes left. Good thing you came early. You still have time to prepare before your interview, but probably not enough to do everything you want. You'll have to decide where to spend it carefully. Read through those pamphlets, answer a few questions, strike up conversation with the irritated man. There's a magazine on the coffee table. Okay, let's learn about the company. You snatch a brochure that seems to cover the most interesting topics, hoping it will contain some hints about your future 9 to 5. Your guide towards success in a post-truth future. Found in the year redacted by the psychotherapist Gertrude Borodin. Well, do we know our auntie's name? I can't remember my auntie's name. Well, began as a non-profit humane society, quickly evolved into a multinational conglomerate with over blank redacted employees. Today, Smyrna Corp is everywhere. I work for your local governments, your most prestigious universities, the telecommunication services you use to keep in touch with loved ones. Everything we do to protect our most precious resource, people like you. Smyrna Corp is dedicated to providing custom human resource and recruitment solutions for businesses of all sizes. Using our revolutionary evaluation processes, we assign the person who's right for you at the right time, the right place, guaranteed every time. What are you waiting for? Embrace change today. So it's like a job company? You're mildly disgusted by the amount of insipid buzzwords on each page. The whole thing reeks of hyperbole with a lesser whiff of self-congratulation, but it was at least somewhat informative. Plus, the company seems way more prestigious than you expected. The salaries must be pretty decent. You tuck the pamphlet back into display and give the clock another glance. 3:51. You have a few minutes left, maybe enough to extract information from one of the other people in the room. Let's ask her. Despite her extreme fatigue and even extreme stress levels, the woman definitely seemed eager to lend a hand. And what's better way is there to learn about your new workplace than to ask the person paid to greet visitors. You return to the reception desk with an awkward wave, embarrassed to be disrupting the receptionist's work so soon after leaving. Yet rather than appear annoyed, the woman looks up from her typewriter with a sigh of relief, the air seeping through her vice-tight teeth with a shrill tea kettle whistle. Oh, hello again. I'll take you over a few questions from you. As a disclaimer, please be advised that Smyrna corporate staff cannot disclose any confidential information to members of the public. Therefore, while I respond to your queries to the best of my ability, there may be certain details I'm forbidden to discuss. Thank you for your understanding. The uneasy first impression Melusine gives worsens with every word she speaks, and not just because she keeps talking about blinking her bloodshot eyes or unclenching her goddamn jaw. Do you think this is like what's that TV show at the minute? I've not watched it yet. Severance. Do you think that's it? Even though the receptionist's responses seem professional and her tone is perfectly jovial, something about her speech pattern feels rigidly urgent. Almost like she's reading the words of a script with a gun pressed to the back of her head, not thanking you for understanding, but begging you to. Is she scared of getting in trouble by letting something sensitive slip, or is she secretly trying to warn you about the office's work conditions? So, what would you like to know? How to ace this interview? What work and how stressful? Maybe this isn't the right person to interrogate. Okay, let's do that. How to ace the interview. It's not like you want to land Melusine in hot water, but you flop too many job opportunities by playing nice. You take every edge you can get to earn a steady paycheck. Playing coy, smiling broadly, you ask if she has any tips to make a positive first impression in the upcoming meeting. The woman looks startled by your question, her grin tightening even more as she mulls over her response. You suddenly realize her teeth are strangely flat, as though worn down by years of grinding. Well, the best advice I have for any candidate is just be yourselves. Smyrna Corp prides itself on diversity of creeds, cultures and ideas, combining to form its rich, thriving workforce. But regarding Mr. Burgard, he's a man who highly values those capable of following rules. Our work involves quite a lot of private information and non-disclosure agreements. You see, it's very, very important that you respect any directives he gives and answer all his questions honestly. Not exactly a riveting revelation. You gently urge Melusine to tell you more, hinting at just how life-changing this job could be for you. It doesn't take much exaggeration to embellish that truth. At first, the receptionist remains unfazed, but then her tense expression softens, revealing unexpected melancholy. What kind of world would you arrive in? A utopia where no one's allowed to be different, or a dystopia where people can remain unique? This one. A world where no one could be themselves sounds like real dystopia. Utopias are inherently impossible. Perfection for one person often excludes the ideals or ideas or identities of others, sometimes even entailing the erasure of cultures and creeds based solely on difference. For all the messiness it entails, a richer breadth of people and perspectives can only make the world better. For a brief moment, you see Melusine's tight smile waver. Her tired eyes suddenly twinkling with a pleasant surprise. Even her voice loses formal stiffness as she speaks for comfort sight. Okay, yeah, she agrees. You wonder if that's what Sans really looks like when her happiness is genuine, but you do not get the chance to... Oh, she's not smiling, is she? As quickly as it vanished, the forced smile returns. The receptionist's insomnia-darkened eyelids flutter, blinking away her own unexpected vulnerability. Her teeth grind together, scared that she shared something that could land her in trouble. So sorry about that. Seems my mind's been wandering from lack of sleep. I've had long work shifts lately. Now, while I share your opinion, I think you should refrain from voicing such problematic interpretations of human society, Mr. Burgard. He highly values doing things by the book, you see. So be sure to remain as conservative and considerate as possible during his post-interview evaluation. Evaluation. Your aunt didn't tell you to prepare for that. Panic must be plainly written on your face because the receptionist is quick to harsh you. No need to be afraid. The fact you're here to begin with means there's practically no way you could actually fail the exam. Just try to please Mr. Burgard and everything should go fine. But if I give one word of warning, be very careful with your answers. The question you're given might seem fairly pointless at first, but their consequences are real. Depending on what you say, innocent people could... Who's he? Is he Mr. Burgard? Tut tut tut, no spoiling the surprise, Miss Sans. He's got a booming voice. A booming voice rumbles across the reception room, and Melusine stiffens as though struck by lightning. Clenching her smile tightly over, her heels click together like a soldier awaiting inspection. Another click is heard behind you as the angry stranger on the couch stiffens the same way. Their reactions made no sense until you turn to face the voice, and then you too go rigid with awestruck shock. Standing in front of the elevator is, without exaggeration, the most massive man you've ever seen. He's taller than a fridge, twice as wide, and thrice as heavy. Bapa Boopa Diop's here. The pure white... Was it Bapa Boopa Diop? No, he was the... Was he the fridge? Was Herman... No, Herman Haridason was the fridge. The pure white of his immaculate dentistry contrasts with his dark skin, which reflect the room's dim light like a finely chiseled onyx. Beneath the perfectly tailored patterns of his elegant tweed suit, muscles shift with every breath, threatening to burst through the seams. His pale blue eyes focus on you as he speaks with a voice like velvet thunder. My humble apologies for interrupting your enthralling conversation, friend. Our dear Melusine is sometimes a little careless when it comes to discussing confidential company matters, but I'll gladly sate your curiosity in her stead during our interview. Interview her. This must be Mr. Burgard, your soon-to-be boss, luck willing. Elevator. Elevator is heard, and one of the grillage doors by the reception desk creaks open. The tweed behemoth slides away into the shaft, packed tighter than a tuna in a too small can. He beckons you to join him with a bratwurst thick finger. Come along now, we're already behind schedule and I can't afford any more delays. What's more, I frankly cannot wait to discuss your future with the heroes at Smyrna Corp. Holy shit, he thinks you have a future. In that moment, Mr. Burgard's big beaming smile is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Thank you, Mr. This is going to be bad, isn't it? It's a tight fit, but you managed to rig yourself into lift by nuzzling up to your hopefully future boss. You apologise profusely for the cramped conditions, he just laughs it off. No need to be embarrassed, happens all the time. Oh, and no need for this Mr. Burgard either. First name basis is fine by me. Abuya. His name's Abuya. Before the elevator can snap shut, someone opens their mouth and screams. Abuya, wait. This guy's waiting. This guy's called Emiliano Iguila. Is he the one who was on the sofa? The angry-looking man you're worrying about suddenly drops to his knees, hands held together in prayer. Any aura or danger that once clung to him has been dispelled by his blubbering supplication. Oh, he's the one who's been fired. Yeah, I thought it might be. Sir, I'm begging you, just give me another chance. I swear I'll do anything. Unpaid overtime or work more weekends. I'll kiss your goddamn shoes if I have to. Just please don't replace me. Mr. Burgard's only reply is a disappointed sigh. His bright white smile wavers, and tangible contempt taints his otherwise welcoming tone. Mr. Aguilar, you have more second chances than I can count. And displaying such undignified desperation in front of a candidate set to take over your position is not an endearing choice. Frankly, there's nothing more I can or I want to do. He looks like a vampire, that one. Beyond offering the standard company-issued severance package. Oh shit, this is the problem employee your aunt was talking about. The land being put to slaughter, or you can... Also, you can survive on the paycheck they used to have. Part of you feels guilty considering how desperate the stranger seems about being laid off, but another part is grateful that your predecessor seems to be such a mess. Maybe getting hard here will be easier than your first thought. Either way, Mr. Burgard's work to have an effective ice pick through your heart. The once intimidating stranger collapses as though shot through the chest. His body ripples with hiccuping wails, his fists powerlessly pounding up the carpeted floor. Your maybe future boss clicks his tongue, more disappointed than disturbed. He turns to Melusine a firm look and firmer orders. Miss St. Cience, please ensure our former staffer behaves until his offboarding is complete with you. I'll attend to him once I'm done with our guest. You need to attend to him. The tired woman gives a nervous nod, rushing back to her typewriter as if nothing happened. The clacking keys are now punctured by the tears of a growing man. Abuya thumbs a few buttons and the elevator doors slide shut. Through the cracks in the bridge gates, you see the receptionist giving you a small wave, mouthing us a worrisome farewell. Good luck. Before you can decide if she's cheering you on or trying to warn you, the floor lurches downwards. Interview. Is the whole game like this, I wonder? I'm curious. It did seem to have like... Let me check. Let me have a look. I know it's like a literary tale. There were a few extra things. No, I think it is all like this. It's like a little story. I wonder how long it is. Dun, 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 dun. 9 hours. Ooh, interesting. Okay. 13 hours, 3 hours. Hours. Well, one person says it's AI written. Interesting. I don't know if it is. Is the interview a good place to pause it? Probably. All right, yeah, that's probably a good place to leave the mystery